On the morning of February 2026, 30 Blue Sparrow hypersonic missiles dropped out of the atmosphere at a 90-degree angle. They rained down onto a single specific building in the middle of Tehran. Hitting a target with a missile is a matter of basic physics. The actual engineering feat of this strike was the intelligence apparatus required to know exactly which room in that sprawling city to aim for. For years, a quiet war had dragged into a frustrating stalemate. Israel would bomb an Iranian nuclear research facility or assassinate a top scientist, and within months, the Iranian leadership would simply rebuild the site in a new location and hire replacements. That calculus shifted in January 2018. Mossad agents broke into a warehouse in Tehran and stole half a ton of secret nuclear documents. The files proved that bombing concrete facilities would never end the nuclear program as long as the core leadership remained intact to oversee the rebuilding. To stop the program, they had to eliminate the supreme leader herself. Committing to that objective meant infiltrating the most heavily guarded subterranean fortress in the Middle East without triggering a full-scale regional war. The target lived inside the Pasteur Street compound. This is a massive 30-acre complex shielded by the dense urban grid of Tehran. On the surface, it is guarded by 3 separate rings of elite security forces, culminating in a dedicated unit that reports to no one but the supreme leader. The airspace above the compound is wrapped in a net of electronic countermeasures. The perimeter is lined with jammers, steel nets to catch low-flying drones, and rotating surveillance cameras. But the true defense was underneath the surface. The bunker plunged so deep it required a 5-minute elevator ride. From there, a 5-kilometer tunnel network spatterwebbed beneath the city, connecting to 8 civilian infrastructures for untrackable escape routes. You cannot drop a standard bunker buster bomb onto a 5-kilometer labyrinth and hope for the best. To succeed, the attackers needed absolute real-time certainty of exactly which room the target was standing in. Before we break down exactly how they dismantled the security of this fortress, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you never miss an explainer. The intelligence siege started with the physical. Covert operatives monitored the compound's daily food deliveries and sifted through waste, while Mossad began a years-long effort to recruit or compromise personnel. Next came the digital breach. The Iranian government had installed Chinese-made surveillance cameras across the compound. Israel's Unit 8200 exploited an unpatched firmware bug to remotely hijack those lenses, streaming the compound's internal security feeds directly back to Tel Aviv. From orbit, American satellites provided continuous overhead tracking. They intercepted raw radio chatter and captured images so precise they could calculate the height of vehicles arriving at the gates just by measuring the length of their shadows. Iran's security apparatus realized they were being watched and adapted. They calculated the exact speed and trajectory of the spy satellites to find narrow time windows where they could move unseen. To cut off the radio leaks, they wired the entire compound with unhackable fiber optic cables. By 2024, the attacking intelligence agencies have collected millions of data points across land, cyber, and space. Yet, the human target was still successfully hiding within the sheer volume of that noisy, disconnected data. To make sense of the noise, the intelligence agencies fed this massive data lake into a military AI known as the Maven Smart System. The AI processed hacked video and intercepted communications. It synthesized seemingly irrelevant details, driver assignments, guard shifts, and the supreme leader's walking posture. In just 90 minutes, the software output a pattern of life, predicting his exact future movements with 98.7% accuracy. They finally had the intelligence, but they needed the political backing. The November 2024 US election brought an administration into power that was willing to fully authorize and support acting on this data. The AI moved the operation from reactive surveillance to predictive certainty. It gave the strike team the exact date, location, and minute they needed to launch their attack. On the morning of February 28th, the AI's prediction played out perfectly. The supreme leader left the safety of his deep bunker and stepped into an above-ground building for a high-level meeting. This image shows an S-300 missile battery, the backbone of Iran's physical air defenses. As the strike aircraft approached the border, dormant malware secretly planted in the S-300 supply chain years earlier was suddenly activated. Radar screens across Iran went blank, instantly paralyzing the defense network. Moments later, US electronic warfare jets flooded the airspace over the Persian Gulf with massive electromagnetic waves. This secondary suppression jammed all mobile networks and radio communications within the Pasteur Strait compound. With the radar blinded and the phones dead, the kinetic clearing phase started. Smuggled drones hitting near the defense sites were activated. They took off and physically destroyed the offline anti-air batteries, neutralizing the digital, electronic, and physical defenses in perfect synchronization, stripped away the layers of the fortress. It created an unopposed corridor for the final fatal missile strike. 12 minutes after the bombs leveled the compound, millions of Iranian citizens checked their phones. A popular religious prayer app, heavily compromised by intelligence agencies, sent a mass push notification to its users. It read, "Help has arrived." Yet one chilling mystery remains. The supreme leader had an impenetrable bunker and an escape network designed for exactly this scenario. So why did he choose to hold a highly vulnerable meeting above ground on that specific morning? The predictive data suggests he was manipulated. A key military commander, Ismail Qaani, miraculously survived by leaving the room just moments before the missiles hit. This survival, combined with the earlier intelligence regarding inner circle recruitment, suggests that a human element ensured the target was in the kill box at the exact minute the AI predicted. If you found this breakdown of modern intelligence fascinating, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us make more content like this. The 2026 strike demonstrated a new reality for high-value targets. In an era of AI pattern recognition, cyber warfare, and total surveillance, a physical bunker cannot protect a leader if their habits have already been mapped.